The Six Secrets of Pidge, Part 3, a Voltron Fanfiction, written for Plance AU Week 2018. Comment, like, and subscribe for more fanfiction, or check me out on Tumblr and Archive of Our Own, links below. They continued doing homework and studying together, just the three of them, even after Bebe went home. Katie didn't expect to enjoy their company as much as she did, and eventually she had to admit it was a welcome relief to the previous monotony of her days. And their simulator performance improved too. She had recently finished sifting through all the data she'd filched from Iverson's computer and determined that the garrison knew absolutely nothing that could help her find her brother and father. She started building equipment of her own to scan the stars for her family's radio chatter and was infinitely grateful that her team didn't ask questions about it, even though it was in plain view whenever they came to her room to study. She'd shared a couple more of her less dangerous secrets of her own volition. Secret number 2. I have a deadly weakness to peanut butter cookies. As in, I'll eat them until I explode if you let me. Lance started carrying a zippy of peanut butter cookies and sharing them after every exam the three of them had together. He claimed his mom had been sending them from Cuba, and he didn't have the heart to tell her he didn't like them. But Katie seriously doubted that. Not that she was going to call him on it. She didn't have an alternate theory, and she didn't want him to stop. Whether they managed to slip through customs or were made in the public kitchens in the dead of night, Lance's cookies tasted like home. Secret number 3. I sweat a lot when I'm nervous. And when I'm not nervous. For the love of God, if I turn on a fan, don't touch it unless you're going to turn it up. That one resulted in a lot more sympathy than their being grossed out, as she'd expected them to be. After that little disclosure, she noticed Lance started carrying a little battery-powered fan and always offered it when she looked uncomfortable. Where he got it, she had no clue. It was becoming distressingly easy to share herself with Lance, and she almost slipped up several times, almost told him little things that a real boy would never say, or things that only the daughter of Commander Holt would know. It was getting harder by the day to keep her final secrets, and she knew she would either have to withdraw from him or tell him the truth. The thought of excluding her teammates from her life now was almost as painful as hearing Matt was going on the Kerberos mission without her. They had become such an integral, necessary part of her life that she couldn't bear being at the garrison without them. And a little voice in the back of her mind kept whispering, Lance deserves to know. Which was why she finally gave in when he asked her to sneak out on a Friday night. The weather in the upper atmosphere was supposed to be horrendous, so it wasn't like she'd be able to hear the endless drabble about Voltron anyway. Hunk would be there, and he deserved to know too. She met them at the end of her hall, and they snuck out, overly wary despite the abysmal security. One could never be too careful. Katie wasn't sure what she'd expected from Lance. A nightclub full of drunk people he could hit on? A seedy little bar full of other cadets who had snuck out? Whatever she expected, it wasn't a cute little arcade that sold amazingly aromatic pizza and gourmet milkshakes. I'm in heaven, she said when they entered and she got a whiff of the place. You know, I would have come months ago if you had said it was a place like this. Lance smirked. Well, I wanted you to come for the team bonding, not the venue. I guess that makes sense. Pidge, you've got to try the calzones. They are to die for. She smiled. How big are they? Both boys frowned and Katie shrugged. I don't know if either of you have noticed, but I'm tiny. I don't eat as much as either of you guys. Lance snorted. There's hope for you yet, Munchkin. Boys don't generally stop growing until they hit their 20s. Katie rolled her eyes but didn't comment. That would be cleared up soon enough. They ordered their food, a calzone full of real vegetables for Katie, but only after they promised to-go boxes were a thing here, and sat down with their drinks. Butterflies turned to angry hornets in Katie's stomach, but she'd made up her mind. No amount of nerves was going to change it. Her team deserved to know, because they'd been nothing if not trustworthy. She took a deep breath. Lance, I'm ready to unload that last secret, she said. He studied her for just a moment before he frowned. Are you sure? Because you don't look ready. I'm sorry, what are we talking about? Hunk asked. Right before Pidge got more sociable, we had a little heart-to-heart. I agreed to leave him alone about the secrets if you promised to tell us if things got to be too much. I swear I told you about that already. However, Pidge, you don't look like you're ready to share with the class, and you don't have to, okay? I get it. Katie shook her head and took a long drink of water. Everyone was quiet when the waitress arrived with their food, and until she was gone. You guys deserve to know the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. What, that you're trans? Hunk asked. If it makes you feel any better, I had no idea until I found the box of tampons in your bathroom. In my defense, I was looking for toilet paper. Katie and Lance's incredulous "What?" were simultaneous and loud enough to earn them a glare from a passing busboy. Oh God, I'm so sorry, was that not the secret? Katie put her head on the table to stop it from spinning. What do you mean, trans? Lance asked. Okay, how about this, Pidge? We'll all share an embarrassing and or potentially paradigm-shifting secret because I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, except I don't really have any secrets like that. I do have one that's embarrassing, but it's not nearly so important. Katie looked up at him, one eyebrow raised. Hang on a second, Lance, and I will explain everything. Hunk, hit me with your best shot. Okay, so I hate Girl Scout cookies, but I always buy a box anyway because I can't say no to their Bambi eyes. Katie burst out laughing and had to wipe tears from her eyes. Okay, if you're really serious about making this up to me, you can buy me a box of tag-alongs every year for the foreseeable future. Lance looked like he might cry. I don't understand what's going on here. I just outed Pidge as a trans man, Hunk said. Katie shook her head. No, you didn't, Hunk. I'm not transgender, I'm biologically female, and I like it that way. Pidge is a nickname my brother gave me years ago. Gunderson is my mother's maiden name. Secret number 4. My name is Katie. My father is Commander Holt, my brother is Matthew Holt, and Takashi Shirogane is a very dear friend of my family. That's why I go ballistic every time Iverson says the Kerberos team crashed due to pilot error. Lance folded his hands in front of his face like he was praying. He was breathing deeply and more furiously flushed than Katie had thought anyone could be. Okay, let me get this straight. You're a girl, and you like it that way. There is no dysphoria going on here. Right. So why did you come to the garrison pretending to be a boy? Because Iverson banned Katie Holt from campus when she got caught hacking into his computer looking for evidence on the Kerberos mission. There isn't any, by the way. Proof that they crashed? There's a landing site. Some of their equipment is still there, but there are no signs of them or any kind of departure. I'm still here so I can scan for radio chatter. Lance was frowning, processing the new information. But why here? Hunk asked. You could scan for radio chatter from home just as easily, if not more easily. Katie couldn't help but flush. So I guess here's secret number 5. I didn't leave because of you guys. I mean, the first time I actually smiled, laughed, enjoyed myself since Matt stopped answering my transmissions, it was with you guys, when I finally started talking instead of shutting you out. I thought at first that it was just because I had Bebe with me, but then it didn't end when he went home. Nobody said anything. Katie picked up her calzone and took a bite. It had gone cold, but it was still amazing. Neither of the boys followed suit, still processing. The food turned to sand in her throat. I'm trusting you guys because you've been way better friends than I deserve. The best friends I've ever had besides my brother. I'm not asking you to help me. I just thought you deserved to know. Lance gave a strained smile. If you're worried about us turning you in, don't be. Shiro's my hero, and you're my friend. If there's anything I can do to help you, don't hesitate to ask. Katie hid her face in her drink to obscure her blush. Thank you. Your turn, Lance, Hunk said. Excuse me? Pidge and I both just shared a pretty personal secret. Now it's your turn. By the way, do you want us to keep calling you Pidge all the time, or can we stick with Pidge? That way you're less likely to slip up when it counts. Gotcha. Now go, Lance, bare your soul. Geez, Hunk, Lance said, rubbing his neck and looking anywhere but across the table at Katie. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have these secrets. I'm an open book. Hunk smirked at Katie and winked. Uh-huh. I'll believe that when pigs fly. Lance glanced at his best friend, at Katie, back at Hunk, and scowled. Oh, fine. Though you kind of rendered my secret moot. So, until today, like a few minutes ago, I was questioning my sexuality. Are you happy now, Hunk? Ecstatic. Katie frowned. Why only until a few minutes ago? She asked. Are you all right? Oh my God, Hunk muttered. Excuse me, I'll be right back. He took a slice of his cold pizza with him and wandered over to the games. Traitor, Lance muttered. What's going on? Katie asked. Lance hid behind his watered-down glass of ginger ale. Wait, you were questioning your sexuality because of me? Because you thought I was a guy? Did I put you off all guys? I'm so sorry. Lance choked on his drink, choked and spluttered and gasped for air. Katie shot around the table to thump his back. What did I say? Are you okay? Oh, God, Lance rasped when he could finally breathe again. Sorry about that. I'm fine. No, you didn't put me off guys, he said. Exactly the opposite. I've been more frequently confused tonight than ever before in my life. Please elaborate. She returned to her seat, mouth frowning and eyes furrowed. Lance grinned in spite of his frustration, deciding to just go for it. Is it really so hard for you to believe I find you attractive? Katie just stared at him, eyes wide. I must be hearing things. Or hallucinating. What are the odds they dropped something weird in my calzone? Virtually non-existent. You're not hearing things, Pidge. You're a fascinating person. You're crazy smart and opinionated, you know what you want, and you're unpredictable. And did I mention you're beautiful? Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Katie was certain she could have fried an egg on her face. She was so hot and sweaty, she was surprised she wasn't sliding off the vinyl chair. She looked up to see Lance offering his pocket fan, motor already spinning with a fond smile on his face. Could they have dropped something weird in your food?